live. Welcome back to another episode of the KnicksEnFuego. I'm your guy Hector. This is Nikki. The New York Knicks are trying to figure shit out. Mike Brown don't know what to do with his rotations, but we're going to talk about it here. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to another episode. Like I said, KnicksEnFuego. It's just me and Nikki. We're waiting on Skills. She's running a little bit late. That 7 train in the snow. I know Mom Donnie is cleaning up the streets, but the MTA is acting up. Nikki, how you feeling, sis?
Good. Trying to stay warm. Trying to stay warm. How are you?
I'm good. How much snow did you get over there where you at?
We didn't get rid of the other one. We had like a
Heard
good
you.
6 inches before, and I think 8 on top. So it's got to be damn near like 2 feet of that stuff outside.
Oof. I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because Alex and I we was in Puerto Rico for like Valentine's and for the
Right.
NCAA PR challenge. I landed like a day or two before it started snowing. One, I caught a flat tire at the airport, had to change
No.
it. Shit was crazy. And then it snowed. On my last day too in Puerto Rico, I got a sunburn. So I came back with a sunburn to a blizzard. How you doing? Who's
Oh,
better than
that's
me?
horrible. That's
Who's
hard.
better
That's
than me?
karma for missing everything else.
That's what it is. It's because I didn't bring
Right.
you and Carla
I know,
with us to
right?
Puerto Rico. That's what it was. But the New York Knicks, they've been going through it. I'll
Yeah.
toss it over to you, Nikki. Let's talk about the state of the New York Knicks right now. Go ahead, sis. Lead the way, and I'll pull up the schedule. I'll pull up the schedule and of the last 10 games. Go ahead.
The team has been looking hella inconsistent. I think that's the one word to describe the team so far this year is inconsistent. For us to have two rather decent wins last week to come up with a dud in the last game was rather disappointing. Unfortunately, last week, not unfortunately, but unfortunately, fortunately, I
Mhm.
was at that Detroit game where they blew that one up too.
Oof.
The only thing I could say right now, it's starting to look like the Knicks of last year, where a lot of the teams over 500 or our so-called competitors and our competition, we haven't been able to hold our end of the barrel so far. I think it's still early. The way everybody knows, the ball that actually count is the ball in April. So I
Hmm.
think it's a little bit too soon to just throw in the white flag and see what happens. I think right now is a lot of identity issues, looking in the mirror and trying to figure out what we can fix in such a short time. They do need to realize that the team has made a lot of moves within the last year. You have brought Mike Brown in, you got rid
Yeah,
of Thibodeau. It's a whole new system. You got Sokum, you got Alvarado, who I don't even think has been here a month, Sokum either. So we have a lot of pieces that we're trying to move together along with the whole Deuce thing. I think right now you just need the pot. You need to let the pot simmer. Don't let it boil out of control. But right
mhm.
now, let the heat simmer and see what happens between now and then.
Absolutely, sis. You hit it right on the head. I want to take a second to shout out the chat, one of the best chats that are out there on YouTube. My guy Bones386 is in the building. Mi hermano de la isla. Guys, if you guys aren't following Bones on Twitter, he's 1/3 of the Knicks Sazon. Please give this man a follow. They go live every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And one thing I like about it, he ain't do it the last one because the Knicks lost. He wasn't playing salsa at the beginning. I was a little bit upset, no salsa. But normally he has a salsa playing, setting the tone right before they get into it. So guys, make sure you guys give him a follow. Shout out my guy Mets Life in the building. My man Ra is in the building, and shout out to Bones for being a member. $3.99 on the channel. If you guys can join a membership, grab your membership. Just to let you guys know, during the baseball season that's coming up, because Credential Media with Latino Sports, we go live from the baseball field. So if you're a member of the channel, those live are membership only, and you will get full access from the field. A lot of players walk by, they join in the live. So who knows? You maybe get a question from one of your favorite either Yankees or Mets, depending on where we're at. But shout out to Bonesy in the building. My guy Daniel Sports Highlights is in the building. My brother Future is here. How you doing? Yankee Dave is here. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to my money Caleb Vasquez with Latino Sports. My man Caleb's birthday is this weekend, so we're gonna party it up. We're going to the Knicks watch party that's happening tomorrow. It's at Clinton Hall, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, I don't want to butcher. No, it's at the Continental, right? So we'll be there. It's Big Nick Energy, their watch party. We're going to be there. We're going to be in the building. Latino Sports. We got some giveaways. So if you guys are coming to that watch party, if you guys can come through, we're going to be celebrating Kayla's birthday. We're going to be celebrating the Knicks, and we got some dope giveaways. So guys, tune in for that. Shout out to my guy D Ace Avenue up here on YouTube, and just to let you guys know as well, we are doing an open panel. So I'm gonna drop the link to the open panel in the chat. If anybody wants to come up and join me and Nikki on this conversation, you're more than welcome to join us on this conversation. But you got to remember two things. One, got to be respectful to the terms and services of YouTube. We like having this platform. We like talking Knicks, and we like you guys being in the conversation. And secondly, if Nikki or myself or if anybody else is in the middle of giving a take, allow them to finish before jumping in because the same time will be given to you. Now, back to the Knicks conversation to piggyback of what Nikki was saying, and I'll throw it right back to her. When you look at the last 10 games that the Knicks played, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it started with the Washington game, right? And in those 10 games, Nikki, the Knicks went 6-4 in those
Hmm.
10. But the four losses is what hurt the most. It was one to Detroit, one to Indiana without Tyrese Halliburton, another one to Detroit, and then to the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. So you can go 6-4 in that stretch. You could beat up on the Washington Wizards. You beat the Denver Nuggets as well. But when you lose against two teams that you're competing in the race for the East, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, sis. Does that make sense?
100%, especially when you lose versus Indiana. Again, like you said, there's no Halliburton. Cleveland, everybody likes to say Cleveland is not the team that they make themselves up to be. And
Mhm.
then Detroit is our direct competition. So we're going to be compared to them. They're going to be compared to us. Whoever would have won or lost that game would have heard it regardless. So the fact that everybody now, and it's funny because for the last couple years, we've been hearing all this. It's Jalen Brunson's time. It's his time. It's his shine. Now you're hearing that about Cunningham. And as
Mhm.
much as we don't like right now, like I've gone at it with a couple Detroit fans on Twitter myself, where I'm like, right now, I tip my hat off to you right now. But in the end of the day, this is still the regular season. We're
Mhm.
nowhere near the playoffs. This still doesn't really matter at this point. Right now, it's just standing wise. And who knows, it might be worse for them where they fit off in the standings than it is for us. Because right now, we're between that 2, 3, 4 seed. And I believe we had a good chance there. Right now, Detroit number one. I believe it's Charlotte at the other end of that playing thing. So if
Yeah.
Charlotte gets in the play in and they come out, and we already know how they left that last game off with Stewart missing 7 games, Duran missing 2, the whole debacle. At least our team has composure. They're professionals. They know not to feed into that shit. It could be a self explosion when it comes to Detroit, depending on who they see at that first round as well. So as much as they're talking all this stuff, it's still early for everybody. Boston as well. They're trying to say, I'm in Massachusetts, that Tatum might be back in the beginning of March. So we got to start looking to see what happens.
And it's being played with. It's a very mystery what's going on with
Mhm.
Jason Tatum. Joe
Yes.
Mazzulla's not letting anything out the bag. He was asked about it. And he literally had a staring contest with the
Yeah.
reporter for like 30 seconds straight. He wasn't letting anything go. And we know the Boston Celtics, they're a championship team. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people hate on Jaylen Brown, but if I was to get a vote this year, Jaylen Brown's the MVP of the league. When you look at
Oh
what
yeah.
he's doing, when you look at his scoring, when you look at what he means to the Celtics are second in the Eastern Conference without their
Mhm.
quote unquote best player in Jason Tatum. Without Jaylen Brown, the Celtics aren't even a playing team.
That's true. That's
You know,
definitely
and
true.
again, I know New York Knicks, we're Knicks fans, we bias, but if you look at it down the line, you gotta respect the season that Jaylen Brown had this year.
Yeah, that I respect. It's still at the end of the day. I will say it's funny how last year they had our number. Then I
Mhm.
don't know if it's just that confidence that they got throughout the playoffs, like we got these guys. Because this season, that's been one of the teams that we were able to actually dominate. So for it to be with that, when Detroit, for some reason, I don't know if it's out muscling, out hustling, or just big brothering us, or little brother, big brother situation where it looks worse on our end than it does for them. But yeah, I got to give it up to you in regards to that Brown thing? Because I really wasn't expecting Boston to be second right now either.
No, I was expecting them to be like a playing team, right? I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting them to be even if they were sixth or fifth in the I wasn't expecting them to be the second seed 50 almost 60 games into the season. I wasn't expecting that. I want to take a second. Shout out to my guy El Big Dominicano in the building on Dios NYK is here. Salute to my guy El Big Domi. Que lo que, mi manito. But back here, when you look at the standings, Detroit's in first, the
Hmm.
Celtics are second. The Knicks are in third, and then you got Cleveland right behind the Knicks at seven and at basically a half a game
Right.
separates the Knicks and the Toronto. I mean, and the Knicks and and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we got a bit of some bad news today. I'll
Hmm.
throw up the graphics sis, to let you lead in the conversation. But we got a Deuce McBride injury update. I wish I had the bells and whistles to sound the alarm right now, but I don't.
Right. Definitely. I understand. I understand the loss in regards to the type of season he was having and feeling bad for him having this injury and being
Mhm.
out for the rest of the season. I just think that the fan base is a little exagerado when it comes to this
Mm.
because technically speaking, who were you pulling the minutes from anyway? Is this going to impact Alvarado's minutes? We barely see Clarkston. So it's like, from where were we going to distribute and give him the time that he need if he actually would have recovered in time? So I know he's due for big money coming up soon. And hopefully they take what he did so far this year as a consideration for that. But being that he had the injury and that payday is coming, he might not be a Nick going into next season at this point.
Yeah. First of all, I want to address this comment. On Dios in the chat was saying, Diablo, Hector, that was mad good. You sure you're not Dominican? Listen, my girlfriend's Dominican, right? And I grew up and hung around a bunch of Dominicans. I live in the Dominican capital of the United States in Washington Heights right now. So I pick up a lot of slang here or there, wah, wah, wah. But anyway, but yes, I see what you're saying,
Hmm.
but it hurts because the Knicks' best basketball, or best stretch of basketball they had this season was in the month of December, and that's when Deuce McBride was blossoming into this potential star player coming off of the bench or potential key piece in a championship run. That's what we saw from Deuce McBride in December. I agree with you where the minutes are going to come from, but
Hmm.
our best stretch of basketball was when Deuce McBride was the backup option or coming off the bench, or even he was starting some games as well when OG Anunoby was out. So it's tough. It's tough. You do want Deuce McBride there, but if I'm the Knicks, I'm not rushing it back because we spoke about it. It's a sports hernia. That type of
Hmm.
injury could set your career back. So take your time. I think if the Knicks didn't have Alvarado or didn't have Jeremy Sorhan, I think the Knicks would have rushed Deuce back. But because we
Yeah,
have those pieces, there's no necessary, there's no big push to rush him back, if that makes sense.
it makes complete sense, and especially with one thing I notice, watching the games is he still has an impact even though he's not
Mm-hmm.
playing. You see him on the side of the bench. He's talking to Huck Porty. He's talking to Deodara. He's sitting here telling them what he sees. So he still can be like, even though he's so young, technically he's like a veteran because he's one of the few, other than Mitch, that we drafted and been with us since day one. So he sees certain things. He's used to how it is having to fight for those minutes. So hearing him and seeing him talk to these other players, to me, would work out on his half, and it may
Mm.
be a good impression on the team too, depending on what they depend on doing with him next year.
I want to ask you
Hmm.
if we had to rate it. First of all, I didn't realize we're live on Latino Sports TV as well. I didn't realize that. So shout out to everybody who's watching us on Latino Sports right now. I had no idea. I hope Julio doesn't mind. Anywho, if you had to grade it one
Hmm.
to 10, one absolute worst. No, one, it doesn't mean that much. Two, it hurts us real bad. 1 to 10, where does this injury rank?
I say like a four. I'm
I,
not gonna lie to you. If it was compared to the amount of injuries we had in the last couple years and the impact on the actual team, it's not a Julius injury, it's not a Jalen, it's not a Josh. If it's not a Mitch, we got a lot of guys that if they were to get hurt, Nick's Twitter would explode and basically it'll be over tomorrow
Oh,
if we had those injuries. So the fact that I know it's like devil's advocate. Do I want Jalen hurt or Deuce? Deuce. Jalen hurt. I'm sorry. Josh hurt or Deuce? Deuce. Mitch hurt or Deuce? I'm gonna say
hmm
take them.
hmm
Take them. If I need to have at least one person out for the remaining of the season, I'm sorry. It sounds fucked up, but I gotta go with him.
I'm gonna say this. The only concerns that I have for Nikki is
Hmm.
when he comes back, how rusty is he going to be? Because he's not going to be McBride that was locked in, knocking down 3 pointers at a career clip that we've never seen before. That may not be the Deuce McBride that comes back when towards the playoffs when he gets healthy.
I don't
If it
think
is,
we need that.
I welcome it. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like what should Knicks fans' expectations be for Deuce McBride?
Honestly, right now, I wouldn't have any. If I'm not saying that we need him as a three pointer, because I'm not. It's another topic of a conversation where we could pivot when it comes to this team. Because I seriously, is the '90s kid in me that says we're relying too much on the three to begin with. We're
Mhm,
losing a lot of these games that are winnable games because we're not driving into the hole. We're staying outside in the three. We
mhm,
don't need that. What I would rather have from Deuce is the defense. Lock down whoever we're playing. If it's a Cunningham, if it's someone on Boston, if it's even if he's guarding quickly in Toronto, if we end up seeing them in the playoffs. I'd rather you be able to give me that defense than the 3 points because we got shooters. It's just a
yeah.
matter of when those shots go in the hoop.
Yeah. And again, it sets it up perfectly to for the next topic because there's been some inconsistency with the Knicks, especially since the month of January. I know the team has been dealing with injuries, but we got a quote from Josh Hart in the last game, and this is shout out to the good people at the Athletic that covered the New York Knicks. God damn it, I didn't do what I had to do properly. Anywho, it says, I think we're still trying to figure it out, Hart said, per the Athletic. I think we're still trying to figure out the style we want to play, the identity we want to play with. I think that is where some of those lows come from. We have to collectively figure it out. 60 games into the season, and you have a player saying that, some alarms need to start going off, or that right there is alarming.
I think it's a man in the mirror situation.
Mm,
Who else are you going to blame right now? Yeah, it's the identity. Is we heard it all. If you want to keep it funky if it comes to this team and so far this year. So right now they're just pointing the finger at themselves because who else are you going to blame? If you blame the coach, they're going to come for their head. They're going to try to get rid of the coach. It's year one. So technically you can't really get rid of Mike Brown in
mhm,
year one. So I think right now they're just going along with the theme of what the excuse has been so far. And if you want, as much as it's frowned upon, you can blame Cat for it because he set the tone talking about the before tip off of game one is I don't know what we're doing. We're trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out my spot. So to me, it's like the game of telephone, and everybody's using the same excuse over and over.
mhm. Like I don't got no more tinfoil hat, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. But if
Right.
you remember, sis, if you remember when the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau, Mike Brown wasn't at the top of their list of candidates. It were like three. It was three other coaches that the Knicks were looking at. They couldn't get any of them, and Mike Brown was a consolation prize. So
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't. I agree with you. You can't fire him in year run, but
Hmm.
let's not forget he wasn't the Knicks' first choice. I
Hmm.
love what we've seen out of Mike Brown. I love the game management that he has shown this season. But there's been times, like in the game in Cleveland, that when you got Carl Anthony Towns scoring in the first half, being dominant, you don't go to him in the second half. That's a problem. And Jose Alvarado, credit to the big Coqui, but Jose Alvarado was trying everything that in his power to get Carl Anthony Towns into the offense. In the second half of that game, it just wasn't working out.
You can't blame them too much. When you're hot, you're hot. You're not, you're not.
Yeah.
When it comes to the whole Mike Brown situation, he wasn't even my preferred. Number one, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too happy that they got rid of Thibodeau because I'm thinking you should have gave him another, at least another year or two. As much as every year he was consistently improving, no matter the hate towards that man, because he couldn't shake it. If it was up to me, it would have been the coach from Denver that we would have ended up getting. But in all reality, it's too much finger pointing. It's
Yeah.
too much finger pointing. It's a lot, and I blame it partially in the fan base, because when you lose, you need to blame somebody on the loss.
Mm-hmm.
Is But it's one thing where when everybody, and it's been like the topic of the conversation for like the last week or so, is when you look at all the teams in the East, who are you more threatened by when it comes to being a Knicks fan? And the consistent answer is ourselves.
Yeah.
We shoot ourselves in the foot. We can
100%.
easily beat any single one of these teams if our minds are right, if the balls are going in, and we're playing the game we're supposed to play. When we are clicking, we click and we're unstoppable. We had games where we beat people beyond 40, 50 fucking points.
Yep.
And the ball movement is impeccable, and it's like, where were these guys last night? So it's something more so mentally than it is actually skill wise, because this team has what it takes to go straight to the ECF if they want to. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's like they fall asleep or they go into autopilot when it comes to the way they play.
I want to point out this comment from our guy Bonesy. I wish I had like the bat signal and I could just take everything that Bones said or somebody put in the chat and put that shit in the sky, because
Right.
he's saying what I think every Nick fan can agree with. At this point, they need to just lock down and stop looking for excuses. Playoff push time, absolutely. And like you said, man in the mirror. If you got to hold anyone accountable, you should look at yourself. What are you
Exactly.
not doing to help contribute to this team get to that level that everybody expect or everybody believes that this team has? Because I got a quote from Mike Brown here, and even though we was just dogging on him, I gotta agree with him right here. Mike Brown said, and this is according to Sleeper Knicks on Twitter, Mike Brown believes that the New York Knicks are a championship team, but they have to believe in each other. And this is what Brown said. We got to be connected, sacrifice, compete every night, and keep believing. Believing in each other, and everyone starting with me has to be held accountable. And I appreciate that he said starting with me, because instead of just pointing fingers and stuff like that, he said we all got to hold each other accountable, starting with me. And that's what you want from a head coach. That's what you want from somebody who's leading a group of guys, regardless of what it is. Nikki, when I was a supervisor, when I worked 911, when I was a 911 supervisor, if anybody in my crew fucked up, who does that fall on? That falls on me.
Right.
That don't fall on anybody else. That falls
Right.
on me. And I appreciate the words from Mike Brown.
100%. And it's funny because there's been the meme that goes around. I don't know if you were watching the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the new series off of Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like, get up, get
Yeah.
up. And it's him sitting on the bench, and then like, get up. I'm not you got it's like mentally my whole life as a Knicks fan. I never seen Jeff Van Gundy sit down. I never seen Pat Riley sit down. I never saw Thibodeau sit down. And as big as Tibbs was, he stood there parado like a penguin, just watching the damn game. So like the penguin from Batman. And
Just
it's like,
waddling back and
yeah,
forth
just
and shit
going
on the
back and
side.
forth, literally. So it's like, come on, like, why are you sitting down? Then you got Rick, who's looking at him like this guy, and you already know the way the media and the internet goes. I'm like, at this point, I'm happy he's taking the responsibility, saying that it starts with him.
Mhm.
I think me speaking, I will feel I'm comfortable enough speaking for the collective of the fan base. If I hear there's another players only meeting, I think I might scream, because at this point, what else are we talking about? I think we had enough moments where even the game, I think, what game was it? Was it the Houston game? Yeah, where Jalen yelled at Cat to post up. You can't tell me these players are not communicating. They're talking. It's just what is not clicking. Because you see Jalen's getting irritated. Everybody's
Mhm.
having their moments. And you can see that during the game, there'll be maybe a real ugly pass or a turnover. I think it all starts with how they take care of the ball. If you
Mhm.
take care of the ball better, you're going to have a better game. It's just they're trying to do too much and they're goofing around.
Yeah, I want to take a second. Shout out to my guy Knickerbocker Ave in the building. Que lo que mi gente, dímelo, mi hermano. I'm gonna put the link again to the open panel. If anybody wants to join us here in the conversation, you're more than welcome to. But like always, respect the terms and services of YouTube and any of the platform that we're streaming on. We like to keep this going. We like to keep it very fan friendly. There's no reason for grown adults to be yelling on the internet. That makes no type of sense. You gotta say that for the Twitter space. Let's not do that here. But anywho, getting back to the conversation, I just want to bring this up because Sleeper Knicks again. They have another comment, and I want to get into this with you, Nikki. There are 23 regular season games left for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, they have the 26th hardest remaining schedule. And right now, we are sitting at 37 and 22. In order for the Knicks to get to 50 wins, we got to go 13 and 10.
Mm.
In order to get to 51, Pat's in 24 and 25, we got to go 14 and 9, 18 and 8 to get to pass 51 wins. And then for us to get to 55, 18 and 5 over the last 23 games. I'm going to ask you, Nick, what's the reality for the Knicks? What record do
50,
you see them getting?
50,
Mm-hmm.
50. I think it's like and it's funny because I'm scared I'm gonna say his name wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. The Jets player that shot himself in the foot, was that Plaxio in the club
Well, that was a
with
Giants. That was a
uh,
Giants
was
play.
it Giants? I thought it
When
was
he played,
Jets.
when he got released, he played for the
He went
Jets.
to
But
the
yeah,
Jets.
yeah,
That's why I think we are right now.
Plaxico
I think,
Burrs.
yeah, I think we really got the gun in our foot and it's only in our pocket, and it's only a matter of time before we do some shit and goof it up. It
Basically,
feels
cheddar
like
bob yourself. We're gonna cheddar bob ourselves.
if we lose, it's us.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not confident to being like this team is better than us. It's them. If we lose, it's us. We're beating ourselves at this point because there's no reason to not. I would love and say wholeheartedly it could be an 18 and 5, but the history and the makeup of what I've seen this year, I'll say 50. We'll be lucky to still be top four if we don't drop because the way everybody else's schedule looks and the way, and it's funny because it feels like everybody in the top five is on a heater. You got
Mhm.
Detroit going up, Boston going up, Cleveland had a streak, Toronto had a streak. We haven't had our streak since what, December or maybe January? So it's been a while since we went streaking. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's like, what is it that's going to make the light bulb go off?
If I'm not mistaken, I think we just came off of a streak as well.
I think like 4 or 5, but nothing too major like some of these other teams, I think.
Yeah. Like right now, yeah, the last streak that we won, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was an 8 game winning streak,
Hmm.
from the end of January into the middle of February. But the team that I'm scared right now that nobody's talking about, the San Antonio Spurs. And first off, I just dropped Bones's Twitter handle into the channel. I mean, into the chat. So if you guys can give my guy Bones a follow on Twitter, if you guys want to be locked into the Nick Sasson spaces that him, Nikki, and Nickinator they put on, great conversations. Make sure you guys give him a follow. But the San Antonio Spurs, Nikki, no one's talking about them. They're on a 10-game winning streak right now. San
Hmm.
Antonio Spurs are a scary, scary team in the Western Conference. I know we're in the East right now, and it's we gotta worry about the East before we think about the finals. I do not want to match up against the Spurs in the finals if the Knicks were lucky to get there.
I'm hearing that's what a lot of people want. Word on the street is they want a 99 recap, which I can't blame them because it'll be a 99 recap, will be an NBA Cup recap. Is a lot of nostalgia with it and the hype of this year so far. So if you didn't hang that banner, are we gonna hang this one? So I think the whole storyline behind it's pretty cool. But they got a gauntlet to go through to even
They
make it
do,
to the ACS because
yeah.
you still got Denver,
Mm-hmm.
Houston's getting hot, OKC is still a problem. You got to see if they played OKC a couple days ago, but they ain't have SGA either.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of missing pieces when it comes to it. But if Wemby gets his shit together and the man can stay healthy and he bulks up because he really needs the right trainer to bulk him up, he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a big ass problem. Seriously.
What I'm worried about is, and this is where the New York sports fan arrogance
Hmm.
is their worst enemy because you want Wemby. You're calling for Wemby. I know Wemby's first game in the Garden, we shut him up. We
Yeah.
we we bottled him up. The mid-season cup, whatever you want to call that, the Amorous Cup. We locked them up. We was able to get that. You're setting it up for Wemby to have his storyline. You're setting up for Wemby to have a final run. The Spurs get on top, beat the Knicks, and we're just another laughing stock in the NBA if that happens. You're set. It's writing itself perfectly. This is Trae Young throwing the dices in the middle of the garden.
Not only
That's what the
that,
storyline is, sis.
yeah, but not only that, if you look at the season in total, whenever they try to feature him, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, so you said those two things, even the All-Star game when it was the world versus the US. And he
Mhm.
was the only he wanted that. If you see how in Fogo now, he walked off the court when they
Yeah.
lost that, the man wanted that. So the fact that so far you haven't gotten shit. And now, if you get to this point, he's going to come out flaming. It's
Mhm.
just a matter of what we're going to do because, unfortunately, if you want to call a spade, the only person I would want to keep on him is Mitch. I don't
Yeah.
feel comfortable with Cat on him. Cat
Or
doesn't know what
OG.
he's doing. No, you can't do OG because that's like the Hulk and somebody else. And I wouldn't even want to put OG. He
Yeah.
held it down when we needed him, but
Mhm.
in a 7 game series, that shit makes no sense.
No, absolutely.
No sense. So it's like what you're gonna do. And Hook Porty's he's been trying to cook it up. Diodora's a baby, he's still learning.
Mhm.
So at this point, we gotta see what we're dealing with because we've seen a lot of crazy shit in the playoffs. A
We
lot
have.
of teams that fuzz off that were supposed to be hot. So right now is just pay attention. This is the time of year where I say you need the teams watch. You can't just not watch the games because the Knicks aren't playing. You need to watch everybody to know what the storyline for your team is.
Damn, I'm my fault. I'm losing my mind because somebody just sent me a video of fucking Jeffrey Epstein at the Knicks game in 2018.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, no,
fucking
they're
Christ.
showing all of them.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, they're showing all of them. But you think that this man's gonna deny money? Yeah, they're showing. It popped up. Yeah, January 30th. Yeah, it just popped up on
Oh
mine
my god, like
now.
someone just sent it to me. I'm
Yeah,
like, what are you sending me? I'm like, oh, it's Knicks related. And I see that. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thanks for fucking ruining my day with this fucking Jeffrey Webb own shit now.
yeah,
Jesus Christ. Hold on. Oh man, the Bepstein, right here.
yeah. Wow. What were you gonna do? Deny him tickets? Woody,
Fuck.
he has Woody Allen's tickets.
It's crazy that it's him too. That's the person whose tickets you got. That's crazy. Anywho, back to Los Knicks de Nueva York. Uh,
Wow. This is Bochinche and a half. Why it gotta be us? You can't go to a Laker game? You
oh
haven't come
man,
to
for
a Knick
real.
game?
Right when
Come
we're doing good.
on.
Right when we're doing good. Okay, I got a quote from Jalen Brunson that we could talk about so we could change the conversation. Jalen Brunson, no matter what the situation is, whatever's put in front of us, control what you can control. And I think that's great because when I bring up this graphic and you look at him and Josh, that was the first time that it looked uncomfortable between them.
Yep,
Watching that game in Cleveland when Jalen had that moment, it wasn't laugh, laugh, ha, ha with him and Josh Hart.
right. But you got to be able, if you're the captain, you got to be able to be like that with anybody.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. The one thing I respect about Jalen is no matter what, that man is business first. I
Yep.
understand that he is the closest thing sports wise, the way he deals with the team and the media that we had since Jeter in a long fucking time.
Mhm.
Because the man is like classically
Yeah.
trained. And as much as he says that, oh no, it's my parents, is this and that, you can't blame I can't even give him that much of a credit. Is
Mhm.
that the man is that smart and he knows how to handle the thing, but I don't know. I'm happy he can check his boy like that, especially with the it's nepotism. It's the Villanova boys. The Villanova boys can get checked too. You can get you can check your boy. You can keep him accountable, and it's not like I'm being nice here and I'm being mean over there. I think that needed to happen, at least for the fan base to know he's not trying to be buddy buddy and nice with Josh and yelling over here because you already know the rumors.
There's certain words that have been thrown into like the lexicon of conversations over the past couple of years that irritate the shit
Mm-hmm.
out of me. One is nepotism because people aren't using it properly. They don't know what the fuck the definition of nepotism is. And two, when someone tries to say, "Oh, you're pushing a narrative," when someone tries to say, first of all, can you fucking define what a narrative is? First off,
Hmm.
anytime you don't agree with someone, they don't. That's not them pushing a narrative. That's not what pushing a narrative is. But I don't know. My ADHD just took over real quick. But when I just want to say, going back to the conversation between Josh and Jalen, yes, I appreciate Jalen Brunson being that leader, being that captain. Um, but I also got to give credit to Josh Hart
Hmm.
because Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, they're boys. Their relationship is different than Jalen's relationship with OG or with Cat or even with
Hmm.
Mikhail to a certain degree. Josh recognizing, all right, you may be my boy, but you're still the captain of this team. You're still the leader of this team.
Hmm.
Whatever I do is a reflection of you. So if you're calling me out publicly during the game in front of our teammates, I gotta hold that shit and bite it. Because if Josh was to give Jalen Brunson some pushback, Carl Anthony Towns what stops him from doing the same thing.
Yeah,
What stops OG from doing the same thing?
right. And not only that, I think Josh know because Josh, let's be real, he's a lambong. The Spanish word of the day, lambong.
You
And and
lambonazo.
and Jalen lets him get away with murder.
Yeah.
Murder this year, NBA Cup. Murder. So the fact that it's like, no, now is at this point, we gotta cut and nip the shit in the butt, no pun intended. But it's like we gotta cut it out and you gotta hold them. I respect it. I respect it 100%. If anything, your boy should be able to hold you accountable more than anybody.
Mm. Yeah, that's a fact. There's one thing. If you're an adult, right?
Hmm.
If I hope, and Nikki, you could chime in on this. The relationship that we have built over this time of knowing each
Hmm.
other, I hope that if you see me doing some out of pocket shit on the internet, you call
Right,
me up like, listen, bro, fuck are you doing, my guy? I hope you're
right.
comfortable enough to do that because that's how it should be. If you see
Hmm.
one of your homeboys being out of pocket or doing some out of pocket shit, check it immediately, have that conversation, and if they don't want to switch up, you just move accordingly.
Exactly. And I think it's to the point of the season that Jalen is tired of answering for questions for other players. You've
Mm-hmm.
been sitting here covering for Mikhail, covering for Cat. He's tired of the shit. And I think that he's like, if anybody that he don't want to cover for is for Josh. Because
Mm-hmm.
if, like I said, Josh gives him a lot of bullshit. I don't know if you saw the game where he went with the ball and he went running around como
Yeah,
like a
that was funny.
yo, he's hilarious. And Jalen's just looking at him like, what are you doing? Like
What are you
Josh is
doing?
Josh, right? You can't control that. But when it comes to the things like, yo, if you're gonna do that, at least get your shit together and get the job done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You already got that one coworker that they act like that, but when it's time to get cracking and to
Mm-hmm.
do their thing, they come through. So that's the thing. You gotta hold everybody. And this is late in the season. How many games we got? 24?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
20.
We
No,
got
we have 20. Hold on, I got it right here. 23. 23. Yeah, 23
yeah.
days left.
Yeah. And my jaw dropped when I found out next week is freaking daylight savings time.
Shit.
Already. Already. So that goes to show we're already out. Hopefully we're out of the snow. But it's about that time of the year when everything's about to get shaky.
I'm about to show you how old I am, right? Because I used to love when daylight savings time. Oh wait, when it was the other. I used to love being at the club, right, and
Uh-huh.
being out and about, and you get that extra hour to be out and
Right.
about. What I
Right.
used to fuck that shit up. But what I
Yeah.
used to hate was being out and about at the club, and
And
it's
that
1 o'clock,
happens.
and it turns to 3 o'clock right there. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what the? That's
Yeah.
what I hate.
Right. That's the worst. Or you wake up and your time's all messed up. And the
Yeah.
thing is, you said that I was so naive that I used to think, what was it? Is it fast forward? Do we go back in the fall? Is that how it goes? Is it back
Uh,
in the
we lose. No, we gain an extra hour in the day, but when it happens, we lose an hour at night.
Okay, so in the fall, I used to think they did that so the kids can go trick or treating early. Because it's always used to be near Halloween. So instead
Yeah.
of waiting until mad late to go, it'll be dark at 4. Okay, I can go trick or treating now. It's
Mm-hmm.
dark and it's 4. I used to think about that when I was little. So now that I'm like, hold on. It's the first week of March and we're already getting this. I don't know if it's me just showing my age, but I'm like, at this point, that goes to show how quick the NBA season went, man. Because it was October and we're already going into March. We got a month and 2 weeks and we're in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get our shit together quick.
I want to shout out some folks we got in the chat. Knickerbocker Ave in the building. I'm not Nickinator by oh yeah, definitely. I know who you are. But we have apparently we have Nickinator here tapping in from another account. Casual Corner Sports is in the building. Nickinator. Make sure you guys go and give our friend a good follow over there. And if anybody want to join in on the conversation, we're going to be rocking out for like the next 15, 30 minutes. But here's the link. We're going to throw it into the chat. If anybody wants to come up on the open panel, you're more than welcome to join us in the conversation. Now, sis, I saved this one for last
Mhm.
because this is some arroz con culo because this has stirred up the Knicks for clicks conversation, and
Mhm.
that's LeBron James, the Big Apple tour. Would you
Boo.
welcome LeBron James to the New York Knicks?
No. No. I didn't want him originally. I used to say for someone who's a diehard Nick fan, I used to say you could take my colors. I don't want them. And it's funny because as much as the whole my Giannis situation, the one pushback I had on a Giannis situation is you had Jalen sacrifice for so much. If Giannis comes, the media is gonna take it and be like, "This is Giannis's team. He only got the ring because of Giannis, and now Jalen needs to play the two." What the hell do you think is gonna happen with this man? Like, I don't want him. It's already too late. It's too old. You had an opportunity to come all those years ago. Don't come now that we're popular. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Since how does it feel to be a bad bitch now that everybody wants to come over here? That's
Ow.
how it is. You know what I mean? I know, right? That's how it is. But it's like at this point, no. I'm good. And un viejo ahora, he's over here complaining. You now he don't even fight the cover of the hairline no more. Like it's obvious. Like at this point, go home. Go home. Go home, Roger. Like they used to say. Go home. Go home. I can't. No. I
Oh
don't want him.
man, I
Nick for
love
click times 10.
I love you and that statement. Please do not hate me for what I'm about to say, and please, folks in the chat, do not come for me. But if LeBron Alexander James wants to sign with the New York, I don't even know if that's his middle name. If he wants to sign with the New York Knicks on a minimum contract, on a league minimum, to do his retirement tour, I'm gonna tell you this. Would LeBron James being on this team make us a better team? Absolutely. I don't think any Knick fan would disagree with that. Now, do you not want to deal with the whole LeBron circus that comes attached to it? I get
Mhm.
that. I understand that whole extra circus. You're taking away from Jalen Brunson. You're taking away from Carl Anthony Towns. I get that. I understand that. But if LeBron James was to come to New York, and if he was to end the drought, if he was to bring a championship to New York, that man would get a statue outside of the Garden.
Mhm.
Like that would cement him as being the GOAT. You end the championship drought in Cleveland. Yeah, we know you did what you did in Miami, but you come to New York and you finally end the championship drought. Please, no me mate. Don't kill me, Knickerbocker. I'm just saying, if it's on a minimum contract, you may not have liked me before, but I gotta glow up now, shorty. I look a lot better.
It makes me so sick.
You know,
It makes me so sick. It's like when you break up with somebody and you're looking at them at the other person and you're on your iPhone, like that's what you got. Like, oh, that's how I feel. I'm like, I will be so disgusted. I'll be so sick to my stomach. But it's like a minimum contract, so that means we don't get rid of nobody.
we don't get rid of nobody. It's a league minimum because the whole thing for LeBron next year,
Hmm.
Netflix is he's in talks with Netflix for his documentary.
Oh
What
Jesus,
Netflix is going to give him 150 to 200 mil for that
really?
documentary. He don't need a big time contract from a team if he's getting 200 million for his farewell tour.
So he's actually retiring after next year. Like that's
That's
official.
it's not official. It's not
Oh,
official. It's that's what everyone is speculating that next year
okay.
will be his last year. Netflix, they're already in negotiation for to document the whole thing, his last season. If it's a league minimum salary, but I'm gonna see this
Hmm.
hypothetically. Again,
Hmm.
I'm gonna take my watch off because it's killing me. I don't have no tinfoil hat. Hypothetically, the Knicks sign LeBron James to a minimum.
Hmm.
You take Carl Anthony Towns OG Anunoby, you package them for Giannis.
Mhm.
Now you have a team
Ooh.
with Jalen, Giannis, and LeBron.
Mm. That's the Monstars. That's the Monstars. Oh God. Then what? Yeah, they're gonna blame everybody and their mother for the ring. That's all the Avengers. We had to get
Now,
the Avengers to be the.
realistically, I don't think that's gonna happen. You can't even make that shit
Yeah.
happen in 2K. That's not gonna happen. I'm just throwing out random ass scenarios. But what I'm saying, it opens up opportunities if he's willing to
Right.
come on a league minimum salary. Now,
Hmm.
if he wants 25, 30 million, and we have to move other pieces to get him here, I'm not doing it. I'm
No.
not doing it. But if he gets that 200 mil for Netflix and we could get him for 3.3 to 3.9 mil, how do you say
Wow.
no to LeBron for 3 mil?
But he'll be coming off the bench or starting them.
Figure this shit out.
Right.
Figure it
Oh
out.
wait. Then did he was he coached by Mike Brown before?
He was in Cleveland.
Oh, this is
They have a
nasty.
relationship already.
That's nasty
And he
work.
actually went to the finals with Mike Brown with that bum ass team with Anderson Varejao as his center.
Right.
You
That's
remember?
nasty work. Oh,
My man went to the finals with Mo Williams as his starting point guard. It's crazy.
be sick. Oh my God. I'll be there. I'll be at the parade, but I'll be sick.
Now, what I would say is, it would feel better if we did it without him.
Oh, a
If
thousand
we won a
percent.
championship with just the core that we have right now, like if the Knicks were to figure it out over the next 23 games, go on a stretch of the playoff, if they were to win a championship this year, LeBron's not coming.
Yeah. Oh
LeBron's
yeah.
only LeBron's only coming because of the appeal of bringing a championship to New York. If New York
Captain
has a
Saberho.
championship, exactly. If
Mm-hmm.
New York has their championship, he's not coming.
No. He's Captain Saberho. He wants
Yeah.
the attention. Doing it for clout is the definition of LeBron James. That's what he does. I'll save you a spot. Yeah, no, we'll be over there. The Kim Kardashian cry face. We won, but fuck, we won, but
Now,
nah.
like I said, I know that it would feel a lot better if the
Oh
Knicks
yeah,
won with their core. But
right.
when you haven't won since 1970, fucking whatever,
Yeah.
you can't be greedy. You
No, but
can't.
there
You
was a topic. I don't know what radio show. They said, "Win with LeBron James or lose for another 20 years." And the guy said, "Lose for another 20 years."
That's
Because it's
crazy.
like, to me, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a 90 baby thing. Do you want to beat Reggie or do you want Reggie? Do you want to beat Jordan or do you want Jordan? Do you want to beat Alonzo? It's like these are people we wanted to beat.
Hmm.
Then you got the Lambong. My dad calls him LeBron the Mamalong. Him. You you got this guy who's had his ass kissed by the league for I don't know how many years now. Whatever he wants, he gets. So if he wants to come to New York, they're gonna fucking do it.
So when the Knicks had two opportunities before to
Hmm.
trade for quote unquote one of the legends in the league, right?
Right.
Back when Kobe was requesting for a trade demand, the Knicks was in
Hmm.
the conversation along with the Chicago Bulls. It never happened. He stood in LA.
Hmm.
When Michael Jordan came out of retirement, he was this close to signing with the Knicks.
And
He was
Magic too.
that close to signing with the Knicks. What
Hmm.
separated it was Jerry Reinsdorf at the last second offering like an extra 15 million to Michael Jordan. That would stop Michael Jordan from coming to the Knicks. Are
Right.
we going to have the conversation in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years? If this core group of Knicks don't win a championship, we're going to be, I'm already bald, so I'll be gray and bald, but we're going to be having a conversation like, Nikki, remember we could have got LeBron James for
We're gonna have
four
that. We're
mil?
having it already.
You know, you remember we could have had him for
Yeah,
4 mil,
no, but
you
we're
know?
gonna have it already too because technically we could have had Giannis this past year.
Yeah.
Technically, so it's like shoulda, woulda, coulda. Are you gonna do it or what? It's like, do you go with your heart? Because to me, it's like, and I heard this fucking phrase for like the last year of my life. You either go to the road of your happiness or you go to the road of your peace. Right now, the road of the peace is your Jalen, is your OG. It's the road of we're gonna keep trusting in the system, or it's the happiness where it's the ring and you finally get your shit, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's like, which part of your heart are you gonna fill?
I
So
laugh because you sounded like one of those YouTube spirit coaches that like self wellness coaches. It's like you
right?
guys have to figure it out. Do you want to
You're
go
at the
cheese?
crossroads. You're gonna follow this, or you're gonna follow. But that's what I'm telling you. And it's like, okay, so what do I do? Like, do you go with peace or you go with happiness? Then you're in Fogo now after you get happiness. That's why I'm like, it's insane.
Bones,
You're being summoned.
Bones, this is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm gonna tell you, Bones. I was
Yeah.
actually listening to you guys almost every stream when I was in Puerto Rico. I just was like too busy just to check in. But I will be on the next Nick Sasson. Please don't roast me. Please be kind. Please be gentle. Treat me with kid gloves. Again, I dropped Bones' Twitter handle into the chat. Make sure you guys give him a sub. Knickerbocker Ave as well. If you want to drop your Twitter handle into the chat, you're more than welcome to. Nick and Nada as well. Everybody who's here, if you guys have your own channel, if you guys have anything that you're doing, you're free to drop it in the chat. We promote each other. We support each other over here. As long as you guys are respectful in the chat, don't be violating the terms of services. You could drop whatever you want. Just don't drop no OnlyFans links, all right? Because YouTube don't like that. But back to the convo. Hypothetically, I would want it. But again, realistically, would it happen? I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But it's just going to be a wait and see game. We still got 23 games left in this season, and then we got a playoff push to go. And
Mhm.
if we get Deuce McBride, if he's healthy, that just adds another weapon for Mike Brown.
100%. Then not only that, it's basically aligning the future for what happens next. Because
Mhm.
if LeBron gets the ring, okay, so what happens when he leaves? Is
Yeah.
it like back to shambles, like when I'm sorry, not LJ, when Michael Jordan left the league for that 1 year to play baseball, then came back? Like, is he gonna be the oldest viejo to come back and try to revive the league, or are you really gonna leave it to the young guys and the young guys finally do what they want to do? So I don't know. We got to see what happens. But I got to ask you a question because we haven't had our conversation for a minute.
Go ahead,
All
sis.
Star game.
Yes.
How did you feel of the All Star game layout? To me,
I
it
love
looked
it.
much more competitive
Way
than the
more.
last couple years.
Way more. I loved it. And I love the fact that Wemby set the tone early.
Yeah, he did.
Everybody fed off of Wemby. Once Wemby started like going and people like, oh, Wemby's going hard. Everybody stepped their game up. Anthony Edwards, shout out to Anthony Edwards who got the MVP and didn't even expect he was getting the MVP.
Nice.
I think this All-Star weekend cemented Anthony Edwards as the face of the NBA going forward. I need the
Mhm.
NBA to involve him in more of their campaigns. Anthony Edwards, his personality, his style of play, he is one of the most dynamic dunkers in the NBA, one of the best scorers in the NBA as well. I think Minnesota is going to have a bright future with Anthony Edwards as a star of that franchise. I really love the All-Star weekend. Now, this is where I'm going to nitpick. Shout out to the Knicks, Team Knicks that won.
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Allen Houston. Houston, why were you wearing a warm-up suit and not a Knicks jersey? That shit was weird to me. That threw me off.
It
Very weird. But secondly, the NBA, they got to do something with this dunk contest.
was
This shit is stale.
trash. It
This
was
shit is
trash.
trash. It's so stale. It's so trash.
The shooting competitions were better, but it's funny because the reason why I brought up the All Star game is you had Jalen on the team with Todo Lo Viejo. So you had
Mm,
Jalen with LeBron, you had
the
him with
AARP club.
Kawhi, yeah, you had him with all of them, and the ball didn't go to Jalen barely. I don't fucking know. And
Mhm.
they're saying, okay, now Jalen knows how it feels to play with a ball. So that was the rumors in Nick's Twitter was that. So I'm like, if LeBron comes and he's gonna be playing Captain Save a Ho because that's the only reason why he's here. It's gonna
Mhm.
look ugly. It's gonna be a lot of ISO. LeBron don't shoot. I mean, LeBron don't pass.
Well,
Not really. To who? Luca? Like
but
I
that's
know you got to earn that confianza with him because that's what he had to do with the Lakers. But it's like,
I think if he was to come, shout out first off, I don't want to take anything away from
hmm
Luca. Luca is a phenomenal player, but
yeah,
having Jalen Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns as options for you to kick it out to are better than just having Luca Doncic as one option. Luca
that's
is
true.
more of a facilitator than Jalen Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns. Jalen
hmm
Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns are scorers, and at this stage of his career, LeBron James should be facilitating more, finding guys more, using him as a ball handler, a little bit off ball because we want Jalen Brunson to be the number one ball handler on the team. But if he could be the third option and defer to Jalen and Cat, and when they're off the court, that's when LeBron James takes over.
Right.
I think there's something that could be tapped in there.
Possibly. If he
And
can,
then
yeah.
also this is hypothetically with still Mikal and OG on the team, because when you look at the Knicks starting lineup right now, you can have Jalen start at the point, you can
Hmm.
have Mikal as your point guard, OG Anunoby as your small forward, LeBron James as the power forward, and Karl Anthony Towns as your center.
So
So you
Josh
have
will be off the bench.
Josh would be off the bench, and then you would
Okay.
have LeBron James playing that Anthony Mason role of being that power forward that's also a ball handler and a point forward.
That's
That
nasty.
would be the role for LeBron James on this team with that lineup.
That's nasty. That's nat. That's
When you
nasty.
think about it like that, sis,
Yeah.
am I crazy?
No, that's nasty. As much as I don't like it, that's a problem. That's a
Jalen as
problem.
your one, Mikal and OG as your two. First of all, Mikal and
Yeah.
OG wing stop. That's going to be the biggest backcourt, the small forward and shooting
Yeah.
guard combination in the league. Then you have
Mhm.
LeBron James as a power forward with Karl Anthony Towns as your center.
That's wild. As much as like having your friend who dates the guy that you don't like, it's like that's what that's gonna be. But yeah, that makes sense.
You know, and
Shit, we gotta see.
you could twist my arm to like it. You know, and like I said, it
Yeah.
all falls back on if he takes that minimum. If he takes that
Right.
minimum, veteran qualifier, copy.
Mhm.
Sign me up, LeBron James, 3 to 4 million. Boom. But if he wants 20 million or 30 million
Yeah.
a
No.
season and we got to move, nah, I'm
No.
hanging up the phone. I'm not doing it.
That's too messy. Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree. I agree. That's wild. You
Yeah.
never know. We gotta see what happens because, like you said, it's only gonna happen if we fail.
Yeah.
And I still don't want to give up. Yeah, it's too early.
Yeah. And fuck
Way
it. You
too
know,
early.
bring LeBron James, hire Chris Paul as an assistant coach.
That'd
Have
be
Carmelo
hilarious.
Anthony be a post-game, pre-game interview commentator. You know,
I
fuck
know,
it.
right?
Bring back Banana Crew.
The whole banana boat, literally.
Find find something for D Wade to do. Figure out some shit for
What?
D Wade to do.
Literally. I'm like, no, it's a mess. But no, you never know. We got to see what happens. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot to consider,
Uh,
especially if you get Giannis, because that's
oof.
another one we got to look at. So, oof, I don't know.
There- there's a lot to talk about. There's, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of Knicks for clicks. Bonesy,
Hmm.
I definitely will be on the next Sasso Knicks. Please be nice. Please don't roast me. But when you look at the Knicks over the next 10 games, we'll just talk about this real quick and then we'll get ready to exit out. When you look at it, it starts tomorrow with Milwaukee and Giannis. Then we have the Spurs, we have Toronto, we got OKC, we got the Denver Nuggets, we got LeBron James, the Clippers, Utah, and Indiana. This is our next 10-game stretch. And honestly, each one of those games are going to be important. It's going to be important
Yeah.
against San Antonio, Milwaukee, setting the tone against Toronto. All those young baby Knicks are coming back to the Garden. They're the fifth
Hmm.
seed in the East. What's your expectation? What is the stretch for the Knicks? What's their record over these next 10 games, sis?
So Milwaukee tomorrow, Giannis
Mhm,
isn't playing. San Antonio's on 1 o'clock in San Antonio. We're playing Toronto, Oklahoma. So I would say we win Milwaukee.
mhm,
I'm gonna take San Antonio as a loss.
mhm,
We win Toronto. We lose OKC. We win Denver. We win the Lakers. We win LA. Okay, so I would say okay. So win, lose. I think we lose the two. I think the two we
yeah,
lose is San Antonio and OKC, and I think we
agree.
win the rest of them.
Agree. I don't think I think we lose against San Antonio, not because we can't beat them, but this entire season we haven't showed up for these 1 o'clock games. These early games, we haven't
That
showed up
part.
for any of them. And like the Detroit game, we got destroyed because they were the
Mhm.
early games. MLK, we got destroyed as well. So yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
would
no.
say that, yeah.
And it's in San Antonio, so it's like,
Mhm.
no, no.
Oh, we got somebody who popped in backstage. Oh, he just disappeared. Knickerbocker Ab jumped up for a sec. Nick, if you want to jump back up, we'll rock out for like 5 more minutes, get your take. But yeah, I would agree with you, sis. I think the Knicks will go 8-2 over their next 10 games,
Mhm.
maybe 7-3. Um, that LeBron James game is going to be interesting, especially now with all this hoopla and all this buildup that they're talking about. But I would say 8-2, 7-3. OKC scares me even
Mhm.
without SGA because they got Jeremy Cans, rookie
Right.
of the year, and he is balling out. And I've always been a fan of his ever since he was in college. Big Brutus is in the building. Uncle Brutus is here. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. And I was always a big fan of his.
Hmm.
OKC really scares me.
Yeah, I think it it depends on what's going on and where we're playing, because I think it's impossible for us to beat them. It's
Mhm,
just a matter of where our mindset is. If it's one of these games that the ball's going, we can tell earlier we got a chance.
mhm.
But then the end of the first quarter, we already know. If you're passing the ball right and if shots are going in and the team looks confident, is one thing. But by the time that whistle blows by the end of the first, you already have an idea whether it's going to be an ugly one or if we actually got a chance.
Yeah, we got a guest backstage. Our guy, the infamous Knickerbocker Ab, is in the building. Let me get a thumbs up backstage. Let me know you're ready to rock out my guy. So I'm bring up my guy, mi hermano de la Isla. What's good, baby? How you feeling?
How you guys doing, man? Thank you for having me on. Hector Nikki, pleasure. How you doing?
Of
Good, how are
course, my
you?
guy. First off, thank you for coming in. You and I, we've been following each other. Always been a big fan of your work and always appreciate
Likewise.
giving support with myself, Latino Sports, Uptown Sports over this time. So I appreciate you taking time and joining us in the conversation, bro.
Well, thank you so very much for for the commentary for always repping us, bro. Latinos everywhere. We got to got to stand united. Of course, Knicks fans. We have to stay united because it's like you say. It's a lot of Knicks for clicks. There's a lot of trick clickbait, a lot of bullshit out there, and it's just it's good to have honest Knicks fans for once. Actually talking about what's really real about this team because I mean I'll be honest with you, man. This team is frustrating as all hell. There are days where, and there are stretches where this team looks like they're clicking on all cylinders and they're doing the damn thing, and it looks like they're a legitimate title contender. And then there are games where you're looking at this is not the same team, bro. And I've been hosting spaces and I've been doing Knicks and Knicks for so long, but I keep on reiterating the same thing over and over again. For whatever reason, this team is not showing you that they had the heart that they had last year. See, last year when we lost, when we were 0-10 against OKC, Cleveland, and Boston, at least you knew that they weren't getting punked. Yes, the scores were lopsided. Yes, it was easily decided within 20, 30 points. But at least you knew that the team had heart.
Yeah.
This version of the Knicks under Mike Brown, you can't really legitimately say that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, they're just not there. There's just no intensity. Cat looks lost, and then when he's finally feeling engaged, the rest of the team is not responding for whatever reason, at least on the defensive end. And I'm sorry, but Mike Brown has me. And me tiene aquí, bro, with this 43 a night doctrine. I think me and Mrs. Knicks at one night, we won a game. We won by 17. And Mike Brown came on the press conference saying, well, we only shot 23 threes.
Mm.
But you won by 17, my nigga. Come on now. Like, what is going on here?
Mm.
So as the Knicks continue to go on through the season and they're doing this, they're becoming very predictable. They're getting punked out. They're showing no pride whatsoever. And as a Knicks fan, and I think I've said it in just about every space or show that I've been on. I've been saying the same thing. This is the season that we've waited. You, me, Hector, Nikki, anybody that's 50 and under. We waited our whole lives for this season. The season was mapped out for us, and now the way it's looking at it right now, you're looking at Detroit and like they can punk us again because this team has not responded. You look at San Antonio and what they're doing, they can punk you. Cleveland, look what they did the other night. They can punk you. And so when are you going to start fighting back? When are you going to start repping the name on the front and stop worrying about what podcast you're going to be doing, what shoes you're going to be wearing, who's talking about who's going to call you out next? And now, come on, B. Rep the city, rep the hood, rep the colors. Because even if we don't win the NBA title, if you go down swinging, and you know how it is in New York. If you go down swinging, you're going down with respect regardless. But if you go and let punk let these dudes punk you in your building, Come on, man. Pull your skirts down, B. Come on. Ya me tiene hasta aquí con eso, bro.
Nick, I'll throw it over to you, sis, to give you a take.
I agree 100% because it's Nike. They don't have, like you already said, they don't have the heart. And there's been so many situations where the heart has been tested, from the Trey Young situation to the Draymond situation. And it feels like every time we get another player, they think that's gonna be the one guy to defend the heart. Like the Alvarados, the I don't know who they had before that we had for a little
The
bit. That they
Josh,
said,
Josh Hart. It went from Josh Hart. It went to Jose Alvarado. Now it's Jeremy Sohan.
yeah,
It was always somebody, but it's like it's more than one person. It's the Knicks, not the Nick.
Hmm.
exactly,
I,
exactly.
I think I found the video that embodied how our guy was feeling just now.
Yes.
Yo, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This fucking roommate show? Go to that fucking whack ass podcast? I don't give a fuck about no roommate. Who the fuck is Feed Fur? I don't give a fuck about none of them niggas, nigga. Get some fucking W's. Get some fucking W's. You light skinned bitch.
Uncle Raw.
Shout out to Uncle Ra.
He's a mess.
Oh my God,
Diablo.
definitely. But
He
no,
cooked them.
I agree with everything that's been said. I think the injuries hurt us, and
Hmm.
we came out guns blazing. The New York Knicks under Mike Brown. When the season first started, it was all a love affair for Mike Brown. Then we went into the month of January where we were under 500 for the first time. We got into this stretch right now. The Knicks, we fell back. We were the second in the East for a long time. Now we're the fourth in the East. And Knicks fans rightfully so are frustrated with the play of this team on the court, especially against teams that you're supposed to be matched up with going into the postseason. You shouldn't get embarrassed every matchup against the Detroit Pistons. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't lose against the Indiana Pacers with no Tyrese Halliburton. That shouldn't matter. James Harden and his beard should not be the reason you lost against the Cleveland Cavaliers when you're supposed to be locked in and facing them in the postseason. Those are three teams that you should not be losing to. And if you're going to lose to them, stretch it out. Don't let it be in a 10-game span that you lost against all three of them.
And I think what makes it even worse about the Cleveland loss is how they said Harden had a broken finger. So you did all of that with a broken finger, and like, okay, so what the hell did we end up doing? So I don't know. To me, it seems like the more information that comes out, the more it makes no sense.
Yeah, and now James Harden is going to be missing some time with that
Yeah.
hand, and
Hmm.
his 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 return is up in the air right now for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But
That's
Nick,
probably when he smacked Jalen in the face.
probably. But Knickerbocker Ave, we're about to get ready to wrap things up. First off, let everybody know where they can find you. Shout out to Mrs. Nick as well. When I first started as a content creator, she's one of the first people that I followed, and she's one of the first people to interact with any of my stuff. So when you see her, send up some love for me from Uptown Sports TV. Big fan of your work. So let the people know where they can find you, her, and everything you guys are doing.
Well, me and Mrs. Nix will be on every post game right here on YouTube at Nix and Ish. We didn't do one for the Cleveland game because I busted my back shoveling all this damn snow. But now the snow is melting. It's like what was all that for? But yeah, we'll be on. We're
Right.
on every night. We're on every. Yeah, so we're on every night, 30 minutes after the final buzzer at Nixon Ish. And of course, you can follow me directly on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and I'm now on TikTok. So thank you so very much,
Of course,
Nikki, Hector. It was a pleasure. You will be seeing me again because if we're not on Nixon Ish, I need somewhere to rant. So I'm going to be hitting you guys up.
definitely. You're more than welcome to here, my guy. Send the invitation to everybody you collab with and do work too. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank
Appreciate you
you.
guys. Have a good night, guys.
You
Fíjate,
too.
manito. And sis, any last words to the beautiful people that are in the chat right now before we get ready to exit out of this?
The last words is this is KnicksEnFuego. So the fuego's the important part. We lost a big member of the Latino community with Willie Colon. Especially, and I said this in the Nick Sasson show. for the time that we lost him right after the Bad Bunny Super Bowl and the performance that he had, bringing the music back to the origins where your abuela can get down to it, your
Mhm.
tío and tía, and now you're seeing that we lost him. Respect to his family, respect to the community, the Latin music
Mhm.
community, the salsa community. Again, we lost a big one there. If you don't know him, if you never heard his music, Apple Music, Spotify, even here on YouTube. Look him
Yes.
up. Be prepared. You'll be able to see where Bad Bunny gets his influences on. So,
Mhm.
from us, respect to him and his family.
Yeah, and be on the lookout. Make sure you guys are following Uptown Sports TV on Instagram and social media. I'm going to be teaming up with my good friend Iraldo from Cultura Palante, Siempre Palante. They're doing something to honor. It's going to be happening in at the end of March. They're doing something to honor the Fania All Stars, and the women are part of Fania. And Willie Colon was a part of the Fania All Stars when it first came out. So please make sure you guys are following it. So you can get any of the information. You're more than welcome to pick to pull up to the event. But until next time, I'm Hector.
I'm Nikki.
This has been another amazing episode of the Knicks and Fuego show. And shout out to the chat. Carlos Santiago from Puerto Rico is in the building. Our good friend Niconator in the building. First of all, Niconator dropped the photo from like 10 or 15 years ago. Unrecognizable. That man was without his beard. Shout out to my guy Niconator in the chat. Cool guy Keith was in the building. Shout out to you. Our good friend Bonesy, Uncle Brutus, who was in the building. Appreciate you. Salute, salute, salute. Make sure you guys go and follow our good friend Knickerbocker Ave. Casual Corner Sports. That's our guy. Make sure you guys go give him a follow for Niconator. And until next time, peace. Arriba the dirt cheek. Drink some water. If you're a Knick fan that's frustrated with your life, go outside and touch some grass. And until next time, deuces.